You know, God has a plan for each and every one of our lives. But the sad part is, most people, unfortunately, don't accept Christ. They don't believe, and therefore they'll never fulfill what God has for them to do. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because I'm going to tell you a story. Well, actually, I'm going to tell you three stories, but I'm going to wrap it into one story. And it was the three times in my life that I should not be here with you. And it was only, and let me repeat this, it was only by the grace of God that I am sitting here today making this video. And I believe you will agree once I tell you this. The first time I should have left this world was in the late summer of 2021. I got COVID pneumonia. They said it was the Delta variant, which was bad or something. I don't know. And I spent several weeks in intensive care. Now, the bad thing is that's bad enough. But the bad thing is I am and have been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease to where I have to, when it acts up bad, I have to get like a chemotherapy. I get a drug that is for lymphoma and to put me back in remission. So I have something that's pretty bad. So that should have finished me. I mean, it just should have finished me. Even the doctors were amazed that I pulled out of it. I am not amazed because I know that God can do anything. God can heal anyone. God can heal a broken heart just as much as he can heal a broken bone. He can heal a broken life and bring you from the depths of depravity all the way up to the top of the mountain. So that was the first time that I should have left this earth. The second time was in January of 1996. Now, this is, try to make this short, both these two stories I'm going to tell you. I was out with my best friend that night in January, and it was getting late. Now, he was my best buddy. He was the first guy I ever played in a band with. He was a drummer. I'm a guitar player. He was the first guy I ever got to play music with, like starting something. I mean, we were just inseparable. We were, I don't know if I'm sure you've had a friend you almost consider family, like a brother, and that's how he was to me. We were always together doing stuff, this, that, and the other. But anyways, that night we went out, and it was a Thursday night, and he had to get up and go to work the next morning. I did not. So he wanted to go home because it was getting late. And I wanted to go home because, again, I even though I didn't have to get up, I was still getting tired. And he didn't want to take me home. He just wanted me to crash at his place. And then he would take me home on his way to work in the morning because I didn't live too far from his job. But I wanted to sleep in my own bed, as I imagine everybody likes to do. And we kind of bickered back and forth, and I was just like, look, I want to go home, I want to get something to eat. I feel comfortable in my own place as anybody would. So after some bickering and back and forth, okay, all right, I'll take you home. Probably called me a few choice names under that, but it is what it is. So off I went home. And the next morning, I had gotten a phone call from his mother. He had gotten killed on his way to work. Now, what had happened was he had a black Pontiac Firebird, and I don't know if you know those cars. Would have been a late 80s model, maybe early 90s model, but they have a sloped hood, in the front. And that plays a part of why I'm telling you this, what happened. So on his way to work, he crossed the double line. Now, I know exactly what he was doing. I wasn't in the car, but I can tell you he had a habit of, back then, CDs were the thing, and CD players in the car were the thing. This was January of 96. So he kept his CDs in the glove box, and he always leaned over to dig a CD out. Now, I used to yell at him, man, won't you watch the road? I'll get the CD. What do you want? Blah, 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 blah. So I know what he was doing. I mean, not 100%, but I'm pretty sure is what he was doing. And he crossed the center line. Now, the thing that's very eerie about this is when he got hit head on, killed instantly, it decapitated him. The thing is, the vehicle that hit him was a big Q truck, a Q van truck, but it was carrying those concrete, I guess they call them, I don't know what they are. When you put a casket in the ground, they have that concrete box, and then they put the casket in the box, and then they put the concrete lid over it. Well, this truck was carrying those forms, those concrete forms that were to go into graves. That's what hit him. And it went up the roof of that, or the hood of that car, and it killed him instantly. And if I would have been in that car, it would have killed me instantly, because it was a huge truck, very heavy. And with all that concrete, it would have, the car, there was nothing left of it. So that was the second time God spared my life. The last time, we got to go way back. This goes back to October of 1987. And I was in school, very young, not a kid, but I was a teenager. And my friend who sat next to me in fourth period class had an extra ticket to the Pink Floyd concert that night. The guy that he was going to give it to couldn't do it. I don't remember the excuse. It's a long time ago. But anyways, I said, yeah, cool. I said, I'll sneak out, because my mom was not going to let me go. That's not going to happen. So I was supposed to sneak out my window and meet him, and off to Pink Floyd we were to go see. And like I said, this was at the Capitol Center in Largo, Maryland, Washington, D.C. area, you might as well say. And so anyways, I pretended to go to bed that night, and I was going to sneak out my window. And I think the concert started at 9. And I told Mom I had to go to bed early. I was tired. I wasn't. But I went in and laid down to pretend like I was just going to go to sleep early that night. And I fell asleep. And buddy, let me tell you something. I fell asleep like I've never fallen asleep in my entire life. I mean, I don't think a marching band walking through that bedroom with the drums, the flutes, the trumpets, the trombones, the tubas would have woke me up. It wouldn't have. And I didn't wake up till about 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I had to get up like 5:30 for school because I had to take a shower. And my bus ride was like a 45-minute bus ride to school. It was a longer ride. And I missed the ride. I absolutely missed the ride. Come to find out, they gave the ticket to another guy. They went to another house on their way, and he said, yeah, and off they went. Well, they went and seen the concert, and the next day I went to school, and in about third period, I don't know, it was morning, we got an announcement over the loudspeaker, the PA system in the school, because there was a box in each classroom, where the principal could call in. So we learned that we lost one of our classmates the night before. And come to find out, on their way home, the two people that were sitting in the back seat of that car, my friend and what should have been me, the car rolled over. They wrecked, went off the road and wrecked, and it started flipping. Well, they flew out the windows and got rolled on. And the two guys in the back were killed instantly. The two guys in the front, some injuries, but nothing of any major significance. A couple broken bones, but, compared to the guys in the back were killed. That should have been me. That ticket was mine. It should have been me. That is the third time in my life that I shouldn't have made it. I should have been gone. But I'm telling you this because God has a purpose for every single person. He's got a purpose for you. Now, at that time, I did not know. By the time I got the COVID pneumonia, of course, I knew what my purpose was because that was just a couple of years ago. That was in late summer 2021. And it was to play music in church, which I never thought in a million years I'd do. Write music. I write songs. I play my guitar. I play the keyboards. I play the keyboards for church for the Sunday service. And I also play the guitar when we do other songs, that need the guitar, the acoustic guitar. So I go back and forth between the keyboards and the guitar on Sunday morning. And it's been wonderful. Even though I played in bands, rock and roll bands, I played in colleges, I played in bars, I played in clubs, I played at parties, played all over the place. Nothing compares to playing music for the Lord. That fulfilling feeling that one gets from doing that. And God had a purpose for me. He knew what my life was to be, and He spared my life. Now, 2 of those times I wasn't living as a Christian. I knew God, I knew the Bible, raised in church, but was not what you would call saved. And if I would have passed on either one of those nights or those times, I would not have made heaven my home. That would have been it. By the first one or the third one, which was in 2021, I would have made heaven my home. But God had other things for me to do on this earth. So wherever you're at and whatever you're doing, okay, if you're down, if you're broken, if you're addicted to drugs, if you're addicted to alcohol, just whatever, God's there for you. Just remember that God is there for you, okay? All you got to do is call upon Him. He will be there. He will meet you and He will heal you. Take care. God bless.